Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Ernie Schiller from the Rebuild Nepal Education Foundation to talk a little bit about his work in bringing education and raising funds for work in the country of Nepal. Ernie, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for the invite. It's great to share.
You and I first had a conversation when you were involved in bringing back some student and professional art from the country of Nepal for what I think you said was the very first art exhibit featuring Nepalese artists in the United States. Tell me how you first got connected with Nepal.
Well, I got connected in Nepal the year before their major earthquake. They had an earthquake in 2015, but the year before I was there just on my own doing some touring and some trekking in the mountains, which Nepal is very big on trekking. And I was coming down from a mountain trek with my guide, and we walked in this little bitty town and came across a school. So I said, gosh, being a former teacher, I just love to walk in. He says, sure, go in. I walked in, and of course, the school is nothing like an American school, Dennis. They have absolutely nothing. So I spent many afternoons in schools throughout Nepal before I flew home. So I told my wife, I said, well, my children, I said, we'll go back. I'll go back in 2015 and volunteer in the schools and try to help them improve their educational system. 3 weeks before I was ready to travel in 2015, a major earthquake, 8.7, happened. 9,000 people died in 30 seconds. Homes were destroyed. And the trekking company contacted me about 6-8 months later and says, Ernie, everything you saw is gone. All the schools, the homes, the ranches, their terraced fields. And I thought, okay. Well, I said I wasn't going to come because I knew it was bad. And they said, but now we need your help. So I go, I'm a former teacher. What can I do? So I thought about it, and I contacted some friends, and I raised a lot of money. All my friends, I said, okay, give me a couple $100. We're going to go over there. And so I flew over in 2016, not knowing where I was going to go. I had some cash and some stuff to try to help, and some medical supplies. And so they took me to the mountain villages where we dug in and started helping the teachers, try to keep the kids in school. Our basic mission was established to try to improve the schools and try to keep the kids in school. Well, after 7 of these educational mission trips, they call us educational missionaries, I got to looking and seeing what the students were doing, drawing and art. Now, remember, I'm a science teacher. I know nothing about art except if I like it, I like it. And I liked it, what I saw. So the next trip, which was our last trip, because the pandemic, we haven't been able to go the last 2 years. In May of 2019, the last time I was there, we hosted, Rebuild Nepal Education Foundation, hosted the first Nepalese art exhibition. So we invited the kids from all over the country to send their work to Kathmandu. We collected it. Matter of fact, Dr. Claire Baldus, professor at University of Iowa, was there with some of her students with me. They organized it and we posted it. And we had an art exhibition and we gave out prizes and awards. And Dr. Claire Baldus was wonderful. She shared her expertise and her art students, and even Dr. Ted Neal, who was with us with the science education department. The 23 people helped us organize this huge, grandiose art exhibition. And we had space on one wall. And I talked to this one teacher, the art teacher. His name is Sujan Tamang. I said, why don't you bring some of your art? So he did. He brought like 30 pieces. And he displayed it. Well, the University of Iowa kids and Claire Baldus and Ted Neal, Dr. Ted Neal, they all bought art from him and the student art. And I've even bought some. So at the end of the first art exhibition, we were taking it all down, and the kids would say to me, can you take my art to America? I go, sure. Sujan said, can you take my art to America? I said, sure. So Claire Baldus and her crew packed up the art, brought it to America, gave it to me, and I gave it to some art friends who did some mounting and framing and pricing, and we've been selling it. And 100% of all the money from that art goes back to Sujan and his students.
There's a new art show featuring the art of Sujan Tamang and his students going up at the Artisan Way, formerly the Artisan Sanctuary. They have a new location on 12th Avenue or 1200 block of First Avenue in Cedar Rapids, right across from Co. And you're opening the exhibition this Saturday, August 7th, yes?
Yes, we are. There's going to be a grand opening, an open house. James Jacob Meyer, the Artisan Sanctuary director, he's got them all mounted, and from 5 o'clock until 7, and I will be there. You can come in and browse the hundreds of paintings of Sujan. Again, if you've seen some of his past paintings, you need to come anyway because he's also had 2 additional shipments, of which the last one arrived just last week. And they're all up and ready for your observation and enjoyment. And if you want to purchase one, again, remember, all the money goes back. And if you can't get there, maybe you have some concerns or something, you can contact James at the Art Center or Google me, Ernest Schiller. And we have it all online, and you can actually view from your phone or from your home computer and do some shopping and have a piece of Nepal.
After our conversation last year, I did that very thing, and we ended up buying several pieces and giving them as gifts. I was just struck by the uniqueness of Sujan's art because, as you said, the art of Nepal does not get out of the country very much. So when we see these watercolor paintings of the mountains of Mount Everest and the other mountains in, this area of the world that very few of us from the United States will ever get to, it is not only great art, but it is also unique in the landscapes that you see.
Yeah, and I think the uniqueness will show up. He's a watercolor artist. I think that's what James told me. Again, I'm a scientist here. Very unique because you will see the temples, you'll see the animals, you'll see the mountains, the trails, the hikes, the prayer flags that you usually see flying over base camp at the foot of Mount Everest. You'll see rural life and habitats that are totally foreign to us. But the last group of paintings that he shipped me, for you people that are really into Iowa or Midwest, he's actually added a collection of art that features, some barns and even downtown Chicago scenes. It's pretty cool
has he painted those from photos that
Yes.
he's seen then? Oh.
Yeah, he's only been to one country, Malaysia. The guy is a power builder, bodybuilder, and he won Mr. World 5 or 6 years ago. So the only country he's been in is in Malaysia. But if things go well, I know the Artisan Way is working really hard trying to come to grips to actually bring him to Cedar Rapids to teach some art techniques because he's a teacher, and to teach the techniques and actually hopefully get into the schools as well as teach at the Artisan Way.
The art exhibit opens Saturday, August 7th at the Artisan Way, new location, 1200 block of 1239 First Avenue Southeast, to be exact, right across from Co College. You can see the art of artist and bodybuilder. See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's very typical Nepalese, very short, but he's a bodybuilder. And should you decide to come between 6 and 6:30 p.m., we will Zoom with the artist. You can ask him questions. You can talk with him. He's really pretty good at English, and he really wants to share his story and his journey of how he grew up even in a poorer part of Kathmandu or of Nepal, and how he became an artist. So it'll be a chance to observe the exhibition, appreciate the art, maybe purchase some art, as well as talk to the artist himself.
The Art of Sujan Tamang, going up at the Artisan Way, also known as the Artisan Sanctuary, 1239 First Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids, right across from Coe College. Again, if people want more information or they want to look at the paintings online, they can do that through your foundation website, yes, which is?
Well, our foundation website is pretty simple. It's just rebuildnepaleducation.org. Or you can just Google Ernest Schiller or Google Rebuild Nepal Education Foundation. But the website again is just rebuildnepaleducation.org.
Well, as I said, I have some of Sujan's art, and I'm anxious to see what new projects he's been up to. So I'll certainly be taking in the exhibit, and I hope that you do too. Ernie, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for allowing me to share my story.
Again, it's rebuildnepaleducation.org for more information, or just stop by the Artisan Way Saturday, August 7th between 5 and 7. Thanks again, Ernie.
Yep, and as they say in Nepal, namaste.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:20, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or however you get your podcasts. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.